This is podcast 187. Subscribe, guys. So once again, like every Thursday, come see me tonight at Stevens Piners Tavern in Billerica, 786 Boston Road. That is 786 Boston Road, Stevens Piners Tavern in Billerica. So I recently started listening to a radio show the other day, actually last week, called the John Fredericks Radio Network. And what he is a talk show host in Virginia, actually. And he covers a lot of stuff in Georgia. And he actually had a friend of mine on his show yesterday, named Jeff Steele, running for governor of Massachusetts. I think he's a very good talk show host. Would love to have him on. Would relish the opportunity to get him on the show. And pretty soon, we're going to have a 200th podcast coming up. And there may be a chicken finger taste testing of chicken fingers maybe I might be partaking in on that podcast. I'm hoping to do that, maybe some phone calls too, for the 200th show. And I will be singing on May 21st at the Mitchell Center in Springfield for the Mass GOP convention. And one of the people who's going to be at this convention is, in fact, Corey Lewandowski, who was Trump's campaign manager in 2016 when he ran for president for the first time in 2016. Corey is now working for Jeff Steele as his campaign manager now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the convention hall, sing the anthem, hope I get to meet Corey, and tell him about my show and get him on the show. Because he's a big guest I want to get on the show. Corey Lewandowski, who is from Lowell, might I add, and lives in Windham, New Hampshire, currently. And what is also interesting is this. Rumble is the new platform for videos. Now, let me explain why I say that. Because YouTube recently, a couple months ago, took down one of my shows. And Rumble is a site that they don't do that to. They don't censor you no matter what your views are. So I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking, should we time to go to Rumble maybe as a plan B if I have to? Because then you can get, bigger reach. And I'm definitely thinking maybe at some point soon, yeah, eventually. Because they don't crack down on what you say. They don't do a full crackdown. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on that, on that front of things. There's a book that I'm reading. It's called Football for a Buck by Jeff Pearlman. And it's about the USFL. And the story that's very interesting how it all started with David Dixon, the owner. You had the Boston Breakers, the New Jersey Generals, the Washington Federals, the Chicago Blitz. Again, those are just some of the teams' names on that league, USFL. And what's really cool about that is how it opens. With Eric Height, Jeff's teacher talking about he wanted them to write an essay on a subject that would be 30 pages long or something like that. And Jeff said about the USFL, as he was 17 at the time when he wrote this, when he was a student at the time when he mentioned this. Teacher's like, why would you want to write about that? And he goes, because that league was awesome, and they had cool uniforms and cool things. Like, You could dance after you celebrate your victory lap when you make a good play. You can do that in the NFL right now. So, and he wrote a book on it, and it's really good. Now, we shouldn't bash Trump, but let that go. It's a football book. But recommend that book to anybody who's a reader. And I get the audio version. I would recommend the audio book version because the guy that reads it does a good job. And believe me, I'm not a fan of narrators that narrate the books for the authors a lot. I'm a big critic on that. I prefer when they read it on their own by who wrote the person. It's better. But this is one of those books that I can actually listen to and not be disappointed that the person that writes it isn't reading it. That is something that I'm a big critic on. And if you want to know a book I want to read, May 24th of this year, Kellyanne Conway has a book coming out. Now, my question for that is, will she narrate it on her own? What do you call it? My suspicion, observation thing is that she will narrate it because it's called Here's a Deal, and I'm looking for book memoirs, so I'll be definitely reading that book. And again, Audible audiobooks, my problem with them, I'm an Audible critic now, I think too. I think Audible books on audio don't sound as good as books on audio CD. Audio CD, you get a higher quality of sound. You can hear the enunciation of the words a little bit better. On Audible, it sounds too compressed. It sounds like it's squished a little bit. And, it's interesting how they do that with their books and their audio stuff. But anyway, guys, again, see me at Steven's Tavern tonight, 6:30 to 10 o'clock. I'm going to be singing God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood. I'm also going to sing The Surf Sound of Silence. And I'm also going to end with We're Not Going to Take It. That's the closer song. And with the bang, begin with the bang, as I always say. So, see you guys next week for podcasts 188, 1 and 9. Thank you, guys.